Hello and welcome to Developing Success. This is Neha Agarwal, and today we will do the topic related to both current affair and environment. So the topic is Ramsar wetland, as you can see on the screen. I have covered this topic into another video for which I have given the link in the description box. So that video has all the details of what is Ramsar wetland all about, what is India's contribution, and all the previous sites in India is mentioned into that video. So here we will only cover the new designated Ramsar sites, and the new designated Ramsar sites are 5 in number. So we will do all that today. So some basic informations about the Ramsar Convention is that it was a treaty which was adopted in 1971 and it came into force in 1975. So India is part of this convention, and on the World Wetlands Day, that is falling on the February 2nd, 2021. So this year in February 2021, the Ramsar wetland completed 50 years of its existence. So because it completed the 50 years of its existence, that makes it important for the examination point of view. So what is Ramsar wetland all about? The objective of the Ramsar wetland is to promote the conservation and also the wise use. So we need to conserve the wetlands also, and we need to use it wisely also. So this wise use is the key word for the Ramsar wetland, and wise use signals the sustainable use of the wetlands. Sustainable use, that is using the resource in that way for which the coming generations can also use the wetlands. So around 171 nations have signed this convention, and there are around 2414 wetlands of international importance in the world. Okay, so the first international wetland which falls into India is the Asan Conservation Reserve. So in 2020 it was given the status of a wetland, and it is situated in Dehradun. Okay, and it is the very important wetland because damming of Asan river near the confluence of Yamuna river in 67 has resulted in water stagnation, and that stagnant water is actually very flourishing with biodiversity, which has been declared as the wetland. So the reservoir also taps Shakti Canal emerging from Dak Patthar Barrage, located some 10 km upstream on the Yamuna river. So this is the artificial wetland which support around 330 species of birds and 49 fish species. So that makes it a very important wetland. But around the wetland there are some problems, that is the mining problem, the road projects are going on. So that is why the siltation is happening in and around the wetland, which is harming its productivity and also harming the biodiversity. So to preserve it, to conserve it, it has been declared as a wetlands of international importance under the Ramsar site. So there was very less concern from the state government and the state wetlands authority according to the reports, and that is why the matter has been taken into a national importance and it has been declared as a Ramsar site. So the first Ramsar site we did is the Asan Conservation Reserve, and that falls into Dehradun. The second one which is announced is Kabartal wetland. It is also known as Kavar Jheel, and it is the first wetland in Bihar. Okay, and it is the largest oxbow lake comprising the floodplains of Buri Gandak river. So the oxbow lake, I will explain about the oxbow lake in this video, and let me tell you before that is this is the first wetland that Bihar has got, and it is in the Begusarai districts. Okay, this wetland also has many of the migratory species, especially the birds, and that is why it falls in the Central Asian Highway area also. So first I will brief you about the oxbow lake. What is an oxbow lake? So an oxbow lake is a very small lake, and it is abundant. It is just cut off from the main river while meandering. So this is known as meandering. Okay, when the river works like this, then it is known as meandering. So while the river meanders, it cut apart a portion of this like this, and then this portion is known as an oxbow lake. So in India, we have many such examples. One famous example of Oxbow Lake is the Wooler Lake, which falls into the state of Jammu Kashmir, and it is a oxbow lake of Jhelum River. It is an oxbow lake of Jhelum River. Another example you just read is Kabartal, or you can call it Kavar Jheel. So this Kavar Jheel is the oxbow lake of Budhi Gandak River, and this flows through Bihar, and this Kabartal is located in the Begusarai districts of Bihar. So this was about the Oxbow Lake. And then we move on to the Asian flyway, the Central Asian flyway. This is a flyway, as you can see here. This is a flyway which is covering large continental area of Eurasia. So what is Eurasia? Some portions of Europe and some portions of Asia together is known as Eurasia, and it covers the area between Arctic Ocean and Indian Ocean. Okay, so Arctic Ocean and Indian Ocean are the areas which it covers. So if you can see the green portion that starts from the Indian Ocean, crosses India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Myanmar, and then some West Asian countries like Iran, Oman, Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, and then you have China, Mongolia, Russia, and ending into the Arctic Ocean. So from Arctic Ocean to the Indian Ocean, this green area is known as Central Asian Highway. Okay, and this Central Asian Highway comprises of several important migration routes of the water birds, especially Siberian crane. They come into India for breeding because they find the Indian winters very pleasant and comfortable. And apart from that, it considers 30 countries. Okay, so this Asian flyway, Central Asian flyway, is considering 30 countries, in which I told you China, Mongolia, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Maldives, Oman. So these countries comprises around 30 in number, and the important birds which are recognized here are the endangered, the vulnerable, and the near threatened species as listed by the IUCN Red List. So some of the birds are greater adjutant, black-necked crane, Indian skimmer, lesser adjutant, mask finfoot, and wood snipe, etc. So these are some of the birds which are actually migrating in between or among these countries, and that is why this country is separately, these 30 countries are known as the Central Asian Highway. So this Kabartal wetland is a part of the Central Asian Highway because a lot of migratory birds has been seen there which come from the countries like Mongolia, China, and Russia. Okay, so this wetland is also facing the problem of siltation, eutrophication, poaching of the migratory birds, water level rising. So these are the problems of mostly all the wetlands in India. And apart from that, there is a conflict which is going on between the government departments and the landowners and the fishing community there, because when in 1972 this area was declared as a reserve under the Wildlife Protection Act, the people there, the stakeholder there, they were not actually informed of. Apart from this, a very important issue is this: even today the people residing there are not informed, are not, and also not aware about what is Ramsar wetland. And a place or a wetland when gets the tag of a international importance wetland under the Ramsar Wetland Convention, then what happens to that area? How much restriction does this community is facing? So this is the main problem in this Kavartal Jheel, and people and authorities are really in a fuss and they don't know, and so that is why awareness program is needed into this area so that the stakeholders can participate in the conservation of this reserve and they can use it wisely. Okay, then we come on to the next wetland, which is the Lonar Lake. It is a very famous lake in Maharashtra, and it is very late for the authorities to give a tag like Ramsar wetland to this lake, because this lake is really recharging groundwater and creating biodiversity and one of the most productive ecosystems into the area of Maharashtra, Lonar Lake. And this is the second site in Maharashtra. As we all know that a meteorite fell onto this Deccan Plateau region in Lonar Lake, and the depression was created, and this depression was filled up with rainwater and nearby by catchment rivers, and it turned into a lake. So we can call it a crater lake also, or you can call it a meteorite lake. So meteorite means some object from the space fell here, and because of that the depression was created, the crater was created, and that crater was significantly generally filled with the water by the nearby catchment areas and the rivers, and it turned into a lake. So this lake was in news in 2020. So before that, I'll tell you that this was declared as a geo heritage site by the Geological Survey of India, because there are many unprecedented and unusual events happening in this lake. Like in 2020, this lake turned pink in color, and the Bombay High Court appointed a committee which sought a report from Neeri and Agaskar Research Institute, and both of them said that this lake is polluted, and that is why the construction of Lonar Kinki Road in the Lonar eco-sensitive zone was stopped, and this was found to be problematic by the forest department. Later, by the Agaskar Research Institute, it was known that there is a kind of holoarchaea microbes in this lake which are present, and they give the pink color to this lake sometimes. So that is why this lake is of significant importance. And lastly, the Madhav Gadgil committee report, which is a very famous committee which was set up to study about the fragile ecosystem of the Western Ghats. So they said unless the government takes proactive measures or protective measures at the local level, the inclusion under the Ramsar Convention would not help much. As we discussed in the previous Kavartal Jheel also, that when some area is declared as Ramsar wetland, it is very unusual for the people residing there that what this convention tag will do. So that awareness should be there, and the local stakeholders, the local residents, the local conservation initiative should be there, so that this whole program is successful. Another lake which has recently got the tag of Ramsar wetland of international importance is the Sokar. So Sokar is a very different kind of environment, because two lakes of totally two different nature are present side by side in the Changthang region of Ladakh. Okay, so the altitude is around 4,500 meters, and it's a very unique ecosystem, because there is a freshwater lake which is known as Tarsupuk So, and the larger hypersaline lake which is Sokar, and they are very closely situated. So they give a very unique kind of biodiversity. So one kind of biodiversity is coming on to feed themselves onto the fresh water, and the other kind of biodiversity are coming to the Sokar lake to feed themselves. So there is a kind of unique biodiversity and ecosystem which is being generated here. Okay, so this word Sokar actually means white lake, because of the white salt that is found on the margins due to the evaporation of the saline water. So a large number of white sand salt kind of structure is built around the lake, and that is why the name Sokar means white lake. So several threatened species, including the Sakare falcon, the Asiatic wild dog, the snow leopard, are actually residing here. And Sokar is also designated as an important bird area, IBA, by the BirdLife International. So BirdLife International is actually the parent body of declaring some area as important bird area, IBA. But in India, this work is done by Bombay Natural History Society. So that means BNHS, Bombay Natural History Society, is actually following the norms of the BirdLife International, which is the international body. And by following the norms of the BirdLife International, it is declaring some of the areas as important biodiversity areas, IBA. Okay, so I will brief about IBA in some other video. This video is focused on the Ramsar wetland. Moreover, you need to remember one thing is that black-naked crane is one of the most important breeding centers of this Sokar. So Sokar actually is one of the most important breeding centers of this species, that is the black-naked crane in India. Okay, so the last one which got the Ramsar status is the Sur Sarovar status, and the Sur Sarovar bird sanctuary is actually located on the Agra and Mathura border in Uttar Pradesh. It is also known as Keetham Jheel, and it was actually built to supply potable water to the Agra city. And this lake has large number of fish species, which makes it a productive ecosystem, and it also makes it important to conserve this particular wetland. Also, this lake is very much threatened because of tourism, because of industrial pollution in the river, which is very very common in the rivers of Uttar Pradesh. And due to pollution, there are many episodes of mass fish death in the lake. Last was June 2019. About 100 fishes were found dead in lake. Apart from that, we saw fire also in the lake, and then some turtles also died in 2016. Okay, so in 2018, the Northern Bypass Road project to link Delhi Agra National Highway to Yamuna Expressway cutting through the Keetham forest was dropped. Okay, why was it dropped? Because there was a serious objection raised by the experts that if this highway is planned, a large number of sedimentation will be deposited into the lake, and the lake will again face the problem of siltation, which will destroy the ecosystem and the productiveness of this particular lake. Apart from this, similarly, the Uttar Pradesh government has again announced a leather park inside the Keetham forest, which will be a very lethal and fatal incident, because leather, we all know that how leather industries pollute the rivers, and we have seen that example in Kanpur on the Ganges river. Okay, so same is happening with this area, and after declaring it as a national international importance conservation reserve wetland, still there is no action to actually stop this leather park. So we hope that in future this leather park will be stopped. So this completes the new 5 Ramsar wetland sites, and all the Ramsar wetland sites you can see on this map, on this India map. So all the Ramsar wetland sites are actually pointed out in this India map, which is visible on your screen. You can see that, and you can take a screenshot, or you can draw it, or you can take a blank map and mark these Ramsar sites, because they are very important in terms of map pointing, and also they can ask you in MCQ questions, and you can also use these lakes as an example while you write the answers in GS paper 3 or GS paper 1, which are related to pollution, siltation, deposition, oxbow lakes, conservation, sustainability, wise use, and etc. So I hope this lecture is useful for you. Thank you, and I will meet you in another lecture. Take care.